Hey everybody, Fishman here. Welcome to the video. This is Fish Room Log number 62, and I'd like to thank all you guys who went over to the new channel and had a look at the first video. That's very kind of you to pop over there. I hope you enjoyed it. I plan on doing regular updates on that on Saturdays, and definitely let me know what you think. So this is the indoor pond, and I am doing work on it. There's a bunch of other stuff I have to do as well at the same time, but I need to put a splash guard together for this, and as you can see, I messed up on the dimensions. I'm off by, well, it's only about a 1/16 of an inch, but it's enough. It's not going to fit properly in there. It's not a big deal, of course. This is just for my fish room. It will actually still operate perfectly fine as a splash guard, so I'll probably just leave it as this, unless, of course, it really bugs me for some reason. Who knows? I mean, I could end up finding a use for this splash guard somewhere else as well, so we'll see how that goes. But for the moment, it does its job, and I have a lot of stuff planned for this. I have a couple more things I need to make for it before I can get it up and running, and of course I need a water pump, so we'll get to that as quickly as possible. So this is the Peace Lily I put in the centerpiece in the paludarium, and if you look closely, I mean, it's a little blurry because the water's on the acrylic there, but there's a new leaf coming up, which is exactly what the kind of thing I'm looking for. Obviously it's still too early to tell about this, but we'll see how it goes. I took out all the plants that were in this tank. This is the Gardenrye tank, and you can see I cleaned also the high humidity planter. I took them all out and put a little bit of Java moss in there just to keep them semi-happy. I want to do a census. I want to see how many there are in here and then make plans for dividing this up so I can breed them even more. And I think one of the reasons why these guys do so well is I feed them quite regularly, maybe every 2 or 3 days on scuds. And as you can see here in the next few moments, they go crazy for them. They just love this. This is, if not the most nutritious food, I have actually no idea whether it is or not, but it is a great stimulus for them. They get really excited, and it's actually really kind of cool to see. Gardenrye are one of my favorite fish. I've kept them since I think I was 16, I think, when I got my first ones, and I couldn't get them for quite a while, but now they're available again, so I'm definitely going to keep this colony going, and I'm going to also, of course, divide it up so that it has good genetics. So there you go. Recommend, actually, if you want to breed Gardenrye, just doing it in the full planted method is so simple and completely worry-free. If you notice when I panned up to the high humidity planter on the last clip there, you saw that the Java moss bog filter is no longer filled with Java moss. I'm in the process of converting it. There's a video that's going to be coming up hopefully next week, and the reason for it is, I mean, it's fine, it's a reasonable filter, but this filter here is so much better. As you can see, this tank is crystal clear. I mean, it's not really overloaded with fish, but there's enough in here, and I do feed this with scuds as well, as you're going to see here shortly, and the black skirt tetras actually really love this as well. I'm going to do a kind of a conversion of that filter, a combination, let's say. It's going to be between a Java moss bog filter and this filter here. So it's going to be a bit of a mix. I'm going to have gravel and plants like Java fern and moss and that sort of stuff, but I also want to include some other plants as well. There's a lot of space in there, so I want to fiddle around with that a little bit. So it's going to be, I guess, a three-way combination between this, which is the leak-proof canister filter, the Java moss bog filter, and of course the high humidity planter. So we'll see how that all goes. These guys I'm getting fattened up and get them ready for going into the pond. Everything's pretty much ready there now. I'm going to put the white clouds in there shortly. There's a couple culls, ones that just aren't ready for breeding, like the one pretty much center right now at the bottom. I don't think I'll breed that fish. I'll just leave it in here or put it in one of my clients' tanks. So I'll just do a bit of sorting for that. I want just the better genetics. I've come to the conclusion that I've left the goldfish in here too long. I noticed this week that the smaller of the rainbow fish fry are no longer in here. I think the largest of the goldfish have started having a snack on them, so they're all going to come out. And I'm going to consolidate these two batches. This one here is doing perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with the feeding or water or anything. They're all perfectly healthy. And I still have the tub of these here. These guys are getting too big for this, actually way too big for this. So I'm going to consolidate the larger ones into one tank, and these guys are going to go into the other, and then of course the goldfish will just go somewhere else. Because I much prefer having these guys grow out than have too many goldfish. I have no real need for lots of goldfish. And I still have another tub of goldfish too on top of that. So the live food culture has actually been doing quite well. I finally, I think, settled on a particular way of doing it, and that is with, well, in this case it's grass, but I've found a supplier locally where I can get a bale of hay, and I'm going to start trying it out with that. It's an awful lot of hay in a bale of hay. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it all, because it doesn't really require that much in each of these. I suspect I may end up just having to donate it to somebody who has, you know, some sort of rodent or whatever that likes that sort of bedding, because it is an awful lot of material. So I'm going to start off with this clip here with Ripley. There she is. She's doing really nicely. She's a lovely little fish, and nothing's really changed in that way. But when I was recording this, I noticed something in particular. I don't know if you guys have spotted it yet. It has to do with the guppies. I've been taking a lot of the guppies that were in this tank and moving them out to clients. And then I realized that I have an awful lot of males. I think the sex ratio now is skewed quite drastically. I don't know if there's actually maybe 2 or 3 females left in here. I know I was taking some of them out and putting them in clients' tanks. So what I'm going to have to do now is I have to actually get quite serious about my switching around the top row of the new Rack 2 guppies, because I think my total number of guppy females in the fish room is probably less than 2 dozen, which is not good. That's actually really a really bad ratio. I would much rather if the ratio was completely reversed. There's a bunch in here, and there's a bunch in the next clip. These ones I really like, and actually I like the other ones as well because they are of a different color, different mix actually altogether. These are a lot more red, and the other ones are much more like lace fins and whatnot. And I noticed a couple of females in this tank, and a couple of females in the other tank are looking a little old, especially the one there up in the upper right now. So that needs to get done. So I'm going to have that done for next week, and hopefully I'll have an update for you, kind of a tally on how many females I have left. Hopefully it's a reasonable number. So leave comments as always. Let me know what you think of all these projects, and of course for any future projects. And of course, thank you very much for watching, and also thank you very much for watching the new channel. I really do appreciate all that. So thank you again, and I'll see you in the next video, and bye for now.